Hello, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Stapler. I think. So, my name's Nick Stapler. I'm the Trading Standards Manager for London Borough of Lewisham. I've been asked to come and talk to you about financial abuse today. So obviously I passed the buck and brought the scams team with us. I just wanted to do a little bit of an introduction before we get going about what trading standards is and where we come from. What do people know about trading standards? What do you know about what we do?
We do civil matters rather than criminal matters.
Do we?
In the main.
Do we? Anybody else? No? Okay.
Financial scams, road landlords, to name other things.
Exactly. Well, first slide. We're a criminal enforcement agency and we do not deal with civil issues. We do deal with some. They feed into what we deal with. There's an organisation called Citizens Advice Consumer Service. They field all the calls about civil matters. So if you buy something and it's broken, you phone Citizens Advice Consumer Service. They would tell you how to exercise your rights. They would then feed the information to us, and we would then phone anyone back that we feel there may be a criminal offence in the background. Thank you. So we're authorised to enforce over 300 separate bits of regulation. So that's a massive amount of legislation, absolutely gargantuan. There's no way that anybody could memorise that. So what we look at is we look at things very differently to any other enforcement agency, and we kind of look at, to paraphrase a colleague of mine, if your granny wouldn't like it, we've probably got a bit of legislation that covers it. So yeah. We mainly cover fair trading. That's a doorstep crime. That's all goods and services offered, all the services offered at someone's home. That also incorporates things like estate agents, that sort of thing. I'll explain it a little bit more in a minute. Intellectual property, that's your counterfeiting. You've got product safety, so they're all your goods that you buy in the market stall. Let's say it's a phone charger that sets light to your house, which is a common problem at the moment. And legal metrology, which people know as weights and measures, so that's all your pints and measures in the pub, amongst other things. But that's the main headings. So we look at fair trading includes things like rogue estate and letting agents, misleading descriptions of pricing, misleading omissions. So if someone should be giving you some information and they choose not to, which is relevant to to what you're buying, then it could potentially be an offence. Aggressive practices and professional diligence. There's various other bits and pieces. There's barring practices and things, but you don't need to know about all that. Intellectual property, otherwise known as counterfeiting, in relation to goods, trademarks, goods. Oh, spelling mistake there. To which a trademark has been applied without the consent of the trademark owner. So that's like your counterfeit Nike trainers, or even worse, you're looking at counterfeit products that are aimed at children, or all sorts of things, anything that's pertaining to be something that it's not. Copyright, designs and patents, so that's more about your artistic works, about your music and images and things like that. Product safety, as I say, general product safety, base level expected for any product on the market, it has to be safe. It has to be safe for the purpose of what it's used. Toy safety, really important to us. You know, we do a lot of work around toy safety, making sure that children are protected. Goods supplied as part of the service, so we're looking at furniture and properties. Safety of furniture supplied as a let property. Electrical product safety, mechanical product safety, there's all sorts of them. The list is endless. This is just to give you a bit of a flavour of it. Legal metrology, so again, we're talking about the regulation of weights and measures. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, because it's a massive subject, and I don't know, I only know a little bit of it. There's far more important people than me. But this is where we start to get a little bit more interested. We're talking about the CARE Act. The CARE Act is, I need to get my notes here because I wrote a little bit out to introduce how it affects us. So, victims of scams, whether it's mass marketing or fraud or doorstep crime, are victims of financial abuse. So today, as a result, the CARE Act puts all local authorities under a duty to take steps to prevent individuals being subject to financial abuse. This is a legislative basis that requires local authorities to take responsibility for tackling scams and undertake activities which could prevent people being financially abused. As professionals, you all come into contact with vulnerable individuals on a daily basis that, and you may or may not be able to recognise people that are affected by financial abuse. What I'm hoping to achieve today is to give you a little bit of an idea of how to identify people that are victims of scams, doorstep crime. There'll be hopefully plenty of opportunity later on for us to have a few questions about how you might identify these things. But hopefully a lot of it will be covered in the main presentation. So Sarah here and Lee are from the National Scams team. The National Scams team operates out of Surrey County Council, and they cover the whole of the UK, and they provide support to local authorities and have certain projects in place to help vulnerable people. And I'm going to hand over to them now to give you hopefully a slightly better interactive presentation that you will very much enjoy.
So, I'm Sarah Turby, I'm a project officer at the National Trading Standards Scams team, and this is Lee, he's also a project officer at the National Trading Standards Scams team. As Nick was saying, we're hosted by Surrey County Council, but we're a national team. We work with just over 180 local authorities. They sign up to us, it's a free service, and we are almost like a referral hub centre where we gather lots of intelligence and we send it out to all these different people, all these local authorities, so they can go and do visits to scam victims and give them the best sort of support and needs that they might need. So that's a little bit about what we do. And one of the things that we decided to do is, because we're not a public-facing team, we wanted something that everybody could get involved with, sort of from the grassroots level, have an initiative, a sort of an awareness session about what scams are. So we sort of developed this Friends Against Scams awareness session, and after this session today you'll all become a friend, and you need to see myself and Lee because you'll get a nice badge, which you can see on here, and you're going to wear it with pride, and you're going to tell all your friends and family about the scheme, and hopefully they can all do the online awareness session or take a face-to-face session. So as you can see, we want to take a stand against scams and become a scam-free nation. So, as I said, you will all become a friend. There is the next level up, so that is something called a scam champion, and that is something that I'm doing now today, and that's doing a face-to-face session with yourselves to recruit other friends that can then obviously take a stand against scams and put the awareness out there and learn about the different types of scams that are out there. We also have a scam ambassador, and that's somebody that's from a high level, like a MP or a celebrity, something like that, that they can go and promote it from a high level in government and put sort of it on the paper, say, look, there's a real problem out here, we're only touching the tip of the iceberg with scams. you're all paying attention, because I'm going to quiz you now. Even through the Rattly video. So, who can tell me 5 key points? What was 53%? That's right, so people over 65 being targeted by scams. Huge amount. 5 to 10 billion pounds. Absolutely. And anyone, what does anyone mean? Absolutely. And 5%. That's right. So as you can see, only a tiny bit of people actually report it. And a lot of the times because they don't even know they've been victimised from a scam. That's why we call them silent victims, because they have no idea. They've been sort of convinced, they've been just brainwashed by these criminals that are obviously targeting them. And that's why we try and sort of say to people, these are criminals, they're scammers, but they are definitely criminals, and they are targeting the most vulnerable people in our society. So the different types of scams, we've got postal scams, and these are what you would get in your letterbox, and some of you might have seen them, I'm not too sure, but they'll always say your name on there, always have your address, and there'll be something like a clairvoyant scam, a prize draw scam, a lottery, it could be anything like that. A lot of the time they say, can you send off a small fee and you'll win and we'll enter you into the prize draw. Sometimes they say you have actually won, and in order to claim a prize you have to pay an admin fee to release the funds into your account. Sometimes I think the worst ones are the clairvoyant scams, because they say to you, don't tell anyone, it's a secret, and your family, they'll just come take all your prize winnings away from you. Only speak to me, I'm your closest friend, and a lot of time you'll find that people become socially isolated. Telephone scams, I'm sure you're all aware of telephone scams. These are different to nuisance scams, because you hear a lot about that in the news at the moment. Telephone scams are different because they know who you are, they talk to you, they know all your personal details already, and they often are grooming you in a way that because you might have responded to a postal scam, so they know a lot about your background information, and they'll become your friend. They're not really a nuisance call as such, because they sort of know who you are, they act like your friend, they try and sort of get you into sort of trusting them quite a lot. A doorstep scam would be someone that will come up to your front door, and they'll try and sometimes do like a distraction burglary, and also there's a rogue trader as well. So for example, you have a lot of elderly victims that are targeted by doorstep criminals, because they'll come and say, oh, I can see I think your roof needs doing, and actually probably only needs one tile, but they try and con you out of about £10,000 to £20,000 and do the whole roof and do a very, very poor workmanship on it. And then I'm sure you're all aware of the online scams, but a lot of these are like romance scams. It could be people pretending to be HMRC, and it could be all sorts of things. So I'll go into more detail in a little bit about all of those types of scams. So we've got here in front of you prize draw postal scam. Now have a good look at it. Now can anyone tell me what they think, or why would I respond to that? What is in there you think, oh, that's quite eye-catching, what is it? Anyone got any ideas? I think, oh, I can see why somebody would respond to that.
Deadline.
Yeah, you've got deadlines, you're pressurised to respond straight away. There's a really eye-catching prize draw money there. You can't actually see it here because it has been blanked out, because obviously it has Mrs. M here, but it would have your full name and your address there. That's why it's different to junk mail, because junk mail doesn't have your name and correct postal details. So it will say, dear resident, this will say your name. So it will say, here you go, Miss Sarah Turvey, this is for you. And you think, oh, okay, they know who I am. This is amazing. I've got 7 days to respond and I could win this money. What else do you think is on there that you think, hang on a minute, I could definitely see why this could be real? Well,
It's certified.
exactly, so it's got these nice little logos at the bottom. You'll see it has nice little signatures. So there must be somebody there who could be sending me this money. And a lot of these things, these are kind of tricks that these people use. So they're very, very clever. So let's see any ones that we might have missed out here. So we've got that one. got the pressure. PO box addresses as well, that's a big one. So they don't want to have the actual correct postal address of where it's going to, so these criminals, they actually hire out a PO box address.
Thinking about it.
Slow laptop.
Too good to be true offers, and it's made to look dazzling. As you see, it's lots of nice colours there, so it's quite eye-catching. And they always request your money first before you actually get the prize. Like I said, director's name, might have a picture as well. We actually deal with a lot of physical scanner that comes into the team from our partners. And it's really sad because when you open up the mail, there'll actually be somebody's picture, like a passport photo, that they put in there because they are so convinced that they're going to win, that they're going to have their photo put onto the prize draw winner's letter, because they sometimes get those, and they obviously put fake people's photos up, but it's really sad to see. And like I said before, with clairvoyants, they're very good. They always say, keep it a secret. They don't want people to know. So on the back, if you flip over your card, you'll see an example of a scam email. Now, similar thing, can anyone spot anything on here that you think, this could be a scam? Exactly. You guys are too good. Yeah, so you've got the email address. Anything else? I might click because these are a bit slow. So we've got poor spelling and grammar. So a lot of the time you'll find that they've got a bit of typos in there. And again, same tactics, the pressure to respond. And a lot of the time they'll have an attachment so that you click on something, and obviously sometimes they'll put like some spam malware on your computer, or they'll click onto a link that will then go onto a different website you don't even want to go onto, and then obviously they can hack into your computer and things like that. Overuse of capital letters, they like that one. And they wouldn't have like a sort of an email signature as such, like an official person might. Inconsistent subject to the actual content of what the email is about. And this one is not addressed to a specific person, so that's slightly different to a postal and email. So just be really careful. So postal one, they'll have your details a lot of the time. Email, not necessarily. And obviously, again, same thing again, they'll always ask for some money up front. So, how to spot a victim. So, with the postal scams, what you'll notice is if you're, I don't know if you guys go out and visit a lot of people in your current job roles, but if you do, just keep an eye out for somebody that has a lot of posts coming to them. Just ask them, what is it you're responding to? Are they going to the post office quite a lot? Are they getting a lot of stamps to respond to these scam letters? Are they writing out a lot of checks? I mean, I hardly ever write a check. I think the last time I wrote a check was like 5 years ago. So these people do tend to ask for checks and things. A lot of the time now, these criminals have sort of got a little bit clever because we've been onto them with the checks. They've now started to ask for bank details. So just see if they're like writing out their bank details and things, just sort of going, oh, what are you doing? Why are you sending that off?
Can I just add one other thing in there that we've found recently as well, is they're starting to ask for Apple cards, iTunes vouchers. The case we're currently dealing with is someone's been defrauded out of thousands of pounds through Apple iTunes vouchers. So
yeah.
just to
Absolutely.
bolster that.
Yeah, and a lot of like the catalogue scams, they are basically like a little envelope catalogue, really, really expensive, useless goods. And what they do is they make you buy the goods in order to actually claim your prize, or to be in the chance of going into a prize draw. So you'll find that some of these people will have a lot of stuff just in boxes and things like that. And a lot of the time they're like vitamin pills, and we don't even know what's in them. We don't know what they are. They could be buying them. Telephone scams, so you've got lots of different phone calls. If, for example, you're in their home, they're getting lots of phone calls. So the question is like, why are they getting loads of phone calls? Who are they talking to? Are they making payments on the phone? Are they receiving like lots of text messages? There's so many text message scams out there. So just be mindful of, okay, is this actually the person who says it is? Just take that 5 minutes to think, okay, do I need to respond to this? I don't recognise the number. Also as well, have they got any close friends and relatives that do contact them or not? If they don't actually have that many friends, why are they getting so many phone calls? Doorstep scams, again, like I said before, be poor quality of work and unnecessary as well, and that's the key thing here. And again, they probably won't ask you to sign a contract when they should. Again, they'll probably march you down to your local building society or bank and ask you to withdraw the money there and then. And then on online scams, obviously they normally come out of the blue. They always say, oh, you're due a refund. You think, amazing, I've got £200 that I'm due. Let's click on this link, see where it goes. Just check where that link is, where it's going. Are you actually due a refund? What is this for? Always just take that 5 minutes to think, is this something I should? Don't rush things. It's so easy to do that in our lives, to rush through our emails and click, click, click. Online relationships as well. Romance scams is a big one, and obviously they're grooming people all the time. Ask your family, your relatives, who are you speaking to on Facebook and on this online dating app and things. Just sort of talk to one another, see what they're doing. So I've got another little thing to show you. We've got a little game, and I think you've all got one of these. So this is how to spot the signs. So this is very exaggerated, but a home of somebody that is a scam victim. Now, what sort of things on here do you think could be the reasons as to why they're a scam victim? And Lee, do you want to take over?
Yeah. So I want to give you guys 2 minutes to have a look at the laminate. There are 10 signs on that laminate that you can spot going out into the community, going out to people's homes, that might be an indication of these types of scams that we've been talking about today. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes and then I'm going to quiz you. The mail scams. Mail scam victims will often receive more mail than usual. The letters will often have foreign postmarks, as many scams come from abroad. So that's one. Boxes of products.
But no food in the cupboard.
Lots of low quality products. Scam victims may have lots of low quality beauty or food products around the home. They may also have free gifts or lucky objects sent from clairvoyants, scammers, such as pendants, badges, and items that are supposedly for their protection. What's the third one? Can anyone spot the third one?
At the door?
At the door. So the doorstep scam. Scam victims may have repeated visits from doorstep criminals carrying out unnecessary or poor quality work for an extortionate fee. What's the next one? Fine. So romance scams. Victims may send money to a person who they met online. They may have conducted their relationship entirely by email and or by phone, but they have never met that person. Who can spot me another?
Lonely.
Sorry?
Lonely.
Lonely. Ooh. I'm trying to find that on my little sheet here with all the answers, and I can't. But they are obviously lonely. They're on their own. They've got self-neglect. They are very vulnerable individuals. Can anyone name me another? Sorry, darling. What was that? The final demands. Yeah. So financial hardship. Scam victims may suffer from financial hardship after spending their money, sometimes their entire life savings, on responding to scams. They may stop paying utility bills in order to have more money to spend on scams and extortionate fees. Does anyone have another? I've got book of stamps here, I've got dirty dishes over there, I'll be with you in a moment. Stamps and checkbooks. Scam victims may get through more checkbooks than normal. They may also buy and use more stamps due to high number of letters that they are sending when responding to scams. And yours was dirty dishes, wasn't it? No. So again, that comes under self-neglect. Scam victims may neglect to look after themselves or their homes properly, and this may be due to financial hardship or lack of time as a result of responding to scams. Any more?
Damp on the wall and rubbish in the garden.
Damp on the wall, again, self-neglect, not taking care of their own home and their living environments. Anyone else?
No food in the cupboards.
Yes, again, that is self-neglect. So telephone scams, the telephone there, all on its own. Scam victims of telephone scams may receive many phone calls a day and make regular payments over the phone. They may feel that people calling them are friends, as the criminals are the only people that they have regular contact with.
Also, there's a single share.
Single chair, very good. Isolation. Scam victims may respond to scams because they are lonely and experience social isolation. They could be, this could be because they are geographically isolated, but could also be because their families live far away or because they are living with a physical or mental health issue. Any more?
I'm trying to work out what's the other side of that window.
What's on the other side of the window?
Is that a workman trying to...
Rubbish.
That's just rubbish. That again is self-neglect and not being able to look after themselves in their own homes. So, what about the table with text messages on the phone? Scam victims may receive a suspicious SMS text messaging or email requesting that they follow the link or open an attachment. Yeah. What? No, we can't know. It's a very small picture. Any more?
Unpaid bills.
Unpaid bills. That again comes under financial hardship. So you've got scam mail, you've got doorsteps, you've got stamp and checkbooks, you've got romance, you've got isolation, SMS text messaging, lots of low quality products in their homes, telephone scams, financial hardship and self-neglect, all relating to vulnerability in the home.
So as you can see, as Lee's pointed out, that is what can happen to a scam victim. These are some of the reasons why anyone can be targeted. So, as you can see, someone taking their own life is obviously a very extreme case of being a scam victim, but there are cases out there and it is obviously devastating and it's horrible. A lot of the time as well, it'd be people that are suffering from dementia or have really poor mental health or anything like that, and they do prey on those types of people. Also, it could be that someone's just got a very vulnerable time in the period of their life. So, for example, if I've lost my job, for example, I feel very, very vulnerable because I'm like looking for a job, and therefore, you know, I might not have any money coming in, debts are building up, and you think, okay, if someone's giving me a win here, if I respond, then obviously I can pay off all my debts. So there are obviously lots of different reasons, and anyone can be victimised at any age. And it is very, very easy to get into a cycle once you've started. Once your details have been passed on, these criminals pass it on again and again and again through data brokers, and they'll sell on your details. And specific scams will target specific people, and they are very, very clever in that way. So as we were saying, they try to gain your trust and exploit and steal your money. So these are the types of things they do, the grooming technique. So trying to appear legitimate, they might be official, they might wear a badge if they come up to your front door. They'll always be charming and friendly, want to be your best friend. But then once they start, when they've got you, they've hooked you in, they are very persuasive, they're persistent, they'll keep going again and again and again. And they might even be very aggressive and threatening towards you. And someone that's quite vulnerable, socially isolated, that is horrible. You don't want any of that. So just keep an eye on people that you're visiting. Ask your friends, your family, your neighbours, your grandparents, your parents. Ask them if they've ever been targeted in this way. So we've got some top tips. So we've got 5 top tips here. Never disclose your security details. Don't assume that everyone is genuine. Don't be rushed. That's the thing, they always put pressure on you to respond. So don't be rushed into it. Just take 5 minutes out of your day just to think, hang on a minute, do I need to respond to this? Listen to your instincts. Just listen to that little person on the back on your shoulder thinking, oh, is this right? In that little niggle, just think, hang on a minute, is this legitimate? And always stay in control. It's your money, it's your front door. If you don't like that person, or if they're going to shut the door on them, tell somebody, call the police, anybody, that will help you. So always, like I was saying, always talk to everybody, report it as much as you can. Obviously, as you've seen from our video, only 5% report. If there's more reporting, more things can be done about it. Contact your bank immediately if you know that there's any money been transferred, or if you think someone's hacked into your account because you passed your details on. And always seek further help as well, and possibly from adult social services or from Citizens Advice. We also, as a national team, we have a call blocking project. So if you know somebody that gets a lot of telephone scams, we have some free call blockers out there. And if you visit our website, you can apply for one. There is a criteria, the person does need to have dementia. So if you go onto our Friends Against Scams website, you can apply for one there if you meet the criteria and get a free call blocker. And it's like a whitelist service, so you can put, it's like a filter in the system as well, so you can put the numbers in there that you want to receive phone calls from, and then it'll block anything else that comes through that isn't on that whitelist. But there is different levels of blocking system on there, depending on your needs and depending on who you want to talk to. And it's a really, really useful thing to have. So I would definitely recommend, if you know anybody that would need one, that does have dementia, please go on the website and get one of those.
Is that for landlines only?
You can get like a call blocking apps on your phone as well, so come and see me afterwards and I'll talk to you about those. So if you want to report fraud, go to Action Fraud, and this is the contact number. If you need to get advice, talk to Citizens Advice. And I'll just leave that number up there for a minute so I can see you jotting it down.
May I just add that in Lewisham, Mind Care, which is the dementia service for people living in their own homes, have access to those blocking
Perfect.
things. So
Yeah.
I put them in touch with
Yeah, they're
the
really, really,
national
really good.
mechanism, so
Definitely recommend
they
them.
are available in the borough.
Yeah.